for the blind guy to be able to pickpocket.
You just don't know what you're stealing.
Yeah, just...
Alright. Get this money.
Dude. Oh,
That is a 1. Karma strikes back. Karma strikes back. He does hate kids rocks. He doesn't like kids for some reason.
Can I try? No, I'm kidding. I don't want to try.
So yeah, as soon as you had the idea to kind of pick her pocket to get the money back, she's already disappeared into the crowd.
I was gonna use dual stab next anyway, so whatever. I'm gonna go and just happen to go to the general store to buy some tools.
So going further down the thin, narrow street, the item shop and the general store are right next to each other, adjacent. And they're some of the older buildings in this little hovel of a town. So the general goods store, as you walk in, you notice it has just things haphazardly set all over the place. Coils of rope, pickaxes, hammers, wooden axes, wooden training swords, all sorts of basic adventuring items, tools, and gear. Basic leather armor, basic leather cloaks, capes, boots, belts, scabbards, simple daggers, backpacks, bedrolls, pillows, blankets, beef jerky that you can buy in stacks to put in your traveling supplies, leather skins for water, hairbrushes, scissors, like all sorts of just random stuff you find all spread around in the general goods store. And we'll say if we want to do ourselves a little general goods store here, we definitely can, because it's a little place. With this side of the wall, on this side is the item store, literally on the other side, to where they sell more expensive recurative items. They're known to get in some antiques and trades. But at the front of the store, cackling is looks like a gnomish fellow, right? With white shocks of hair coming out of his head like this. He's got on aprons, that are brown or black, and he's just sort of kookily going hoo hoo ha hoo to himself as he sees you guys come in. The door shuts. He goes, "Oh, we're having a sale today. Having a sale."
Hey.
Alrighty. What kind of a sale?
He's like, "Oh, well, that depends on how strong you are. Come closer. Come to the counter."
Alright.
So yeah, and as you guys make your way, and it's not like the stuff on shelves stacked neatly. It's like stuff just put on top of stuff, on top of stuff, on top of stuff. To where there's almost a thin bit of a walkway in between all the racks and the shelves that are overloaded with basic supplies. Up to the counter, this gnomish fellow, says, "You are pretty strong. You're pretty strong. Let's just say, for 100 mil, I'll let you walk out of here with everything you can carry." Like this. He holds his arms out like this.
Are there prices on anything? Can I do like a quick math thing to see if it's actually a good deal?
I mean, as you cast to look around, some of the pickaxes and stuff are big, like big and heavy. Big hammers or mallets, that stuff is heavy and be hard to carry. But simpler stuff like rope and backpacks and blankets and stuff, you could hold a ton of if you held your arms out. And so it really would matter on what you get.
I'm buying a bunch of tools, so I don't think it's going to be a good deal.
Not a deal for you then. Well, that is the deal he's having right now. Literally, as much stuff as you can hold in your arms and walk out of here for 100 mil.
How much is a coil of rope?
Coil of ropes are 25 mil. That's a 50-foot coil of rope.
Should I attempt to have?
Always. He rolled a 6. He rolled a 6. A 6 on the haggle. So he's like, "Well, I do seem to have a strange abundance of items right now. 20 mil is fine."
Okay. So a coil of rope. How much for a shovel?
How much for what?
A shovel.
Shovels would normally just be 20 mil.
I attempt to have.
This time, as you pick up the shovel and you say, "It's normally 20, but can I do a better deal?" He's like, "Well, I just gave you a deal."
Well, trying to make it worth my while. It's alright, I'll take it anyway.
Shovel?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other, as far as anything that I listed, as far as in that monologue, anything that interested you guys as far
So
as
it's a
basic
metal
things?
shovel, right?
Yeah. It's got a wooden handle, but the tip is
Yeah. How much is the pickaxe?
Pickaxes are a little bigger. They're 35 mil. because that's a big, heavy-bladed. Well, on a 5, as you're like, well, I guess we can just go over to the item shop. They've got nice stuff over there. He goes, wait, 30 mil's fine.
30 mil? Done.
Basic survivalist gear. Never leave home without it.
Does he have jars?
Yeah, jars, bottles, baskets.
Can I get a case of jars?
Buy a 6.
Not
Buy,
metal
to
jars,
buy a
glass.
wooden crate that has 6 jars in it
Container.
would be like 60 mil. You didn't see him. Maybe you didn't see him. Maybe you didn't see him in the camera, but he visibly rolled his eyes. Visibly.
I'm gonna attempt to hack.
A 1! Well, suffice it to say that haggle attempt was largely unsuccessful.
How many jars or how many containers do I get with this?
It's a crate with 6 jars in it.
It's a 10 piece. Alright. I'll buy it. Case of jar.
I want to do the 100 mil for as much as I can.
Really?
He doesn't have poisons or anything like that.
No.
Does he have like oil? Like lamp oil?
Yeah, they use that for lighting torches. They be buying flasks.
How much is a flask?
A flask of oil is 40 mil.
Bet you didn't see this coming. I'm about to haggle.
That's a 1.
Hits the 1 on the
Good.
haggle. He's haggling
Yeah.
nothing. He's haggling nothing.
Alright, so you see those 40?
Yes.
I'll buy a flask.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
The speaker's in the way and I can't see who. Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thanks for jumping
Somebody
in to
said
watch.
He hates kids.
Yeah, because Rock said that because he. Was that Larry? He said Tibbet said that because he would literally try to pick that kid's pocket
I did.
right after he tried to
And
haggle.
I
the
would have
kid.
done it too.
And then he would have killed him.
I would have done that.
Brutal. You guys are brutal right
Spent
now.
so much on basic supplies here.
I mean, it's good to have them, and money is not something I know you expect to see money again down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Well,
Yeah, I'm done buying those type items.
as far as any of the basic supplies I listed, or if you can think of other very basic-esque items I hadn't mentioned, you can mention them, and there's a chance that they'll be here.
I need torches.
Yeah, they of course sell torches. They sell torches for 8 mil a piece.
That's
8 mil a piece.
I'll hold off on the torches. Maybe somebody else can get some torches.
Bro, what a question in the first time chat. The question is, when does Sprinkles get tuberculosis? That's gonna happen. 3/4 of the way through the storyline, he's gonna head out to some forlorn shack in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
He's gonna meet some guy that's gonna unceremoniously hack right in his face. Very Red Dead.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games till a cat gets the TB.
That's why I call him Black Lung Sparkles.
I'm gonna get lumbago.
So, you've bought your share of goods. As far as basic other torches were 8 apiece. How many of them are you gonna buy? None.
I don't know how much some of the other stuff is gonna be at the other shop, so I don't want to spend it yet.
Okay, a frugal shopper. Ever the frugal shopper, Levi.
Alright, I would like to do the 100 mil for
Okay.
as much as I can carry.
Nice. Now, as soon as you put the mill down, he says, all right, well, hold your arms out and have one of your buddies start loading stuff on.
Alright,
So, what do you want them to grab first?
a basket. One of the big...
Is there a big basket?
there was...
Is there
Somebody said something about
baskets?
baskets.
Yeah, you said baskets were one of the containers he had.
Yes. So you could hold baskets if you want to. They're relatively light. You could grab at least 6 baskets.
Okay.
And then can you put stuff in the baskets?
That's what the plan was,
Can he
Yeah,
put his
but
arms through
it will
the-
it'll eventually get heavier and heavier and heavier. So what will you put in the baskets?
We'll cross that.
First off, I want to put 3 water skins.
Okay. I'm gonna have to track this.
Yeah. Because
I use my calculator.
pretty
for
much
that.
Strength.
everything we need. It's 3.
All right, baskets times 6, not very heavy. Now these skins are not gonna have water in them, or do you want them with water in them? Because that will add to the weight.
We'll fill it up. We'll fill them up later. I'm sure there's a way worse.
3 water skins didn't add a whole lot to the weight at all. That's just pouches of leather.
Give more rope.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna try and get like a 25 or 50 foot coil of rope.
1 coil of rope is light to medium in weight, so that's coil of rope. Okay.
And I saw that you got a pickaxe and a shovel, right? I'm gonna try and get. I'm gonna get 3 torches.
Okay.
There's gonna be an item here that we wish we had got.
Yeah,
Don't get it right now. I'm
Like,
trying
you
to
know what?
stuff the.
Isn't that funny? How
Maybe a bucket.
someone called you out for hacking, Levi. Someone called you out for hacking.
Dude, they think I'm hacking. I'm
and
not
that's-
good.
Only because he is haggling everything, haggling the universe right now.
It's a lot of rolls. You never know.
That's true. You got to roll the roll 6s.
We hit triple sixes. Because I kind of want my guy to have like a trading thing, but not like a shopkeep, more like a panhandler type of guy or something.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
I mean, like a tradesman.
I was really like a panhandler, like just some guy you see down the edge of Walmart or something, you know?
So
Just trying to sell
foraging.
random stuff.
So foraging or
like traveling trader or something, like the caravan-esque, like Khajiit thing, like just a dabble.
Okay. Once you guys get into the wilderness, you'll have opportunities for sure. All
Um,
right. So you've got 6 baskets, 3 water skins, a coil of rope, and 3 torches. You still only feel a medium bit encumbered.
okay. I want to get like. Do they have any like real big fishing hooks?
Oh, do they fish around?
Do they have fishing rods?
They do. They only have a few because they are somewhat close to the northern shores, and so people do occasionally come through looking for fishing gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got 2 or 3 fishing poles. That's it.
He's got 3?
Yes.
I'm gonna see.
I'll take
Yeah,
all
lay all 3 on there.
Okay. You're getting to the point now to where your arms are out. You're starting to feel, because they've been out for more than a couple minutes now, they're starting to droop a little bit.
Yeah.
So time is of the essence.
Okay. Get a a bunch of as many little glass bottles as I can fit in like
All right.
one of the baskets.
Glass is a little heavy, so the more glass bottles you put, the closer you're going to get to your limit here.
I still have 6 already.
You have 6 jars.
Yeah, you can get like maybe 3
Okay.
or something like that. I don't know, like half.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 3 glass jars
Okay.
and then and I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh! I said arms were getting heavy. I was putting you on a timer. So
That's
as you
okay.
as you arms are finally like are almost gonna fall, you have to like back up and almost kind of run out of the shop in order for this deal to work.
Yeah.
So as you're running out, armload of loot intact, you procure the following items: 100 mil.
Fantastic. Nice.
Had to run out. Now, is there anything that you're looking to buy?
Do you carry any tarps or large tents, like a sea tent or something in that ilk?
Yeah, they have the basic bedding roll, which is in your adventurer's backpack, which is a thin strip of cloth and a thin little bit of fabric to try to make a little bit of a pillow out of. So if you were to buy a canvas tent, that would be literally a huge stretch of leather. We'll say it's leather and some other cloth interwoven, so that it's lighter, but it can be draped over something to make a tent, draped over tree branches, and it is a good 8x8 section of it. Costs about 30 mil.
I'll take that.
It does come with a couple of basic wooden rod pieces.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll take that. And I'd like to inquire from the shopkeep, is he aware, does he know of anyone in town that sells or has any kind of books or scrolls or tomes having to do with the old ways?
So always, no one even deals in that stuff anymore. That's the bygone era is past. He's like, maybe in the biggest city over on the next continent. Maybe they might have some tomes or books, but nothing like that around here.
Thanks for your time.
Alright.
What was the name of the tent, by the way?
You can call it a sea tent, which is a canvas or a company tent, but we'll call it a canvas tent.
Thank you.
I guess just go to like the better item shop.
So yeah, so that as you bid this strange, eccentric, gnomish fellow a good day, you just have to walk outside of the shop, and literally it's the next one over on your left. This one is, of course, a lot bigger, much better organized, to where you see as you walk in, very nice, carefully set racks and shelves with salves, balms, ointments, things in either little disc-sized little containers or even little tiny glass jars, all intricately marked and labeled, right? Going further down the middle of the shop, you see they've got healing herbs, healing potions, a couple of what look like nice weapons, nice swords, a nice set of armor back behind the counter on one of those armor racks, nice silver armor. But for the most part, you see a lot like of what you saw in the shop that you've just been in. But everything is very nice, very well set. The rope is all up on hooks on the walls. Healing herbs are in a barrel, like stacked over with a price tag on them. Then you see all sorts of different kind of basic items. But as far as quality, they're nicer. They're much more clean. Things are much set well, where you can look through things and find things that you want. It's all very clean, all well put together. The shopkeep is we'll say it's a human woman. She's in her elder 30s, and she's a bigger woman, broad-shouldered, a big blonde bun of hair over her head, wearing a big white aprony dress, right? As soon as the three of you make your way up to the front counter, let's see, we have a couple of let's see, let's say she is. Where's our? Let's put this one. She says, "Welcome, welcome. We have the finest adventuring items the mill can buy. Please take your time."
How much are AP potions?
He says, "Oh well, we only have a few of them. I've only got maybe 6 left in stock."
How much are they?
He says, "Well, they're a little pricey. They're 75 mil apiece."
I attempt to haggle.
He's gonna hang them.
Please. The
5.
Take 5 mil off. I only have 70. Like I'll
You
show
only
my
have 70?
parts. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
show.
if you only have 70, she'll sell you 1 for 70 mil. That's 1 AP potion.
Let's go.
How much would a set of steel tonfas be?
So, they don't have any of that kind of weapon here. They have
Okay.
basic weapons, basic short swords, basic long swords, basic knives, basic daggers, basic staves and wands. They have, as far as exotic weapons, the only thing they have is a net with like a handle ball on the end that you throw. And they also have bola, which are those like ball and rope that you throw at someone's legs to trip them up. They've got those kind of things here. And that armor that's set in the back, it's got like a polished silver shine, but it's also got like a bit of black around the accenting marks where the abs and the pectorals would be. And the whole thing just seems to be a beautiful piece of dark black silver armor. She's noticing that you're noticing it, and she says, someone just brought that in. A rare trader. Says, for only 500 mil you can have it.
Is there anybody else in the shop?
I may be back.
Is there anybody else in the shop? Well, yep, there was 1d4 people in the shop. There's 4 people.
Nice. I'm gonna roll again.
I'm gonna roll my bonus here. Have you? That was a 1. I don't get those good bonuses like you guys do. 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the shop, looking around, browsing. So AP potions, you have 75 apiece. They have healing herbs, healing potions. all the basic kind of items that you would want here. But as far as stuff they have that the general store doesn't have, they have the healing salve, they have healing powder. The stuff is more expensive, but with different effects. They even have what they call they have what's called blasting powder, which is what some people would use to cause things to spark or to detonate things or ignite them. They buy it in a little satchel pouch. It's like 50 mil a piece for a satchel with blasting powder. Well, they have some other exotic things like that, but mostly it's basic items that you'd find in a basic item shop.
They have crossbows.
No, but they do have regular bows.
How much are they?
A regular bow is 40 mil. Then you have to buy a quiver of arrows. And arrows are only like 5 mil a piece.
Can I attempt to haggle?
You can always attempt to haggle.
Don't even ask.
You can always attempt to haggle.
Say I haggle.
Oh my
Flip
god!
6 on the haggle. Let's go.
You
So-
some extra ones, and I'll pay you for them.
And we'll say she gets a reaction roll off that 2 of 5. Well, seeming to, casting a wide grin as you're offering a haggle. She looks you up and goes, "Oh, well, yeah, it'll be 35 mil for the bow, and here, I'll make you a deal on some arrows if you want." She seems to like you.
Absolutely. Let's. Yeah.
So it'll be 35 mil for the bow, and instead of a quiver of arrows 10 for 50, she'll do 10 for 40.
It sounds perfect. Thank you.
Right. As you're putting the arrows in the, slinging it over your shoulder, testing the bow's tension, she's just watching you like intently. She says, "Is everything to your liking?"
I mean, everything seems fine so far. So good. I like it.
Can I turn around and try to pick a mark while the lady's distracted? It's good look.
You definitely can. Of the 4 people, you want to roll a 1d6 to pick one out.
I mean, can I use a little bit of logic to pick what I think would
Sure.
give you the best stuff with the least amount of danger?
Of the 4, there seems to be an old lady over here. What looks like she's looking for some kind of healing items from the rack of where the healing potions and the healing salves are.
Dude, it'd be really fun to steal her medicine money,
Do you want to take this old lady's medicine money?
Yes, can I? That's who. I don't want to hear the rest of them. I just want to go for the old lady. Like,
You definitely, if you want to stride up behind her, and you want to, is that pickpocket?
yeah, I'm gonna use pickpocket.
He's going to use his pickpocket skill on this old lady.
He's gonna
buying
be like,
medicine.
I don't know you, that's my purse.
He's doing it.
Nuts. 1d8. Here we go. Pickpocketing an old lady. She's old.
Pickpocketing an old lady for her medicine money. Go. Oh no.
Wow.
And I hit an 8!
On the delayed reaction,
Oh, man.
he did hit the 8. That is for everyone to see.
I don't think it's
That
gonna
is an
stay.
8 on the
It's gonna end up
pickpocket, and
going
he gets to
out.
roll it again.
Yeah.
You like this fellow, Dia Rocks? You bet on him to win the triple Rock, and he won. Are you?
I hit the 8 though.
So as you kind of walk up behind her for a second, you holding some items in your hand that you had just bought, you spill them onto the ground accidentally, right?
Yeah.
She has to sidestep a little bit just so that you can kind of pick them up. As you do, and you pick up, you kind of bump up against her, and she's like, "Oh, pardon me." She's like, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am, I didn't see you there," when in fact you totally saw her there. Getting up and kind of stepping away, as she turns back to look through the medicines, you realize that instead of grabbing any of her money, you grabbed a strip of paper.
What is this?
Yeah, as you unroll it.
Is there a social security check or something?
No, it just appears to be a list of items.
A shopping list? Wow. Even on an 8, I can't get nothing good. What's on the list? What items are on there?
Healing herbs, healing potion, healing salve, bandages, splints, and burn cream.
I'm gonna... Can I attempt to give the note back to the woman, like, "Oh, this is on the ground next to you," and then actually pickpocket her money?
If you wanna hand her the note back?
Like, as like a distraction to actually get her money. Like, I'm doing something nice for her and be like, "I think you dropped this when I actually bumped into you." And then once I've gained her trust, then I will use pickpocket again.
Okay, well, as you tap her on the shoulder and hold out the little piece of paper, you say, "Ma'am, I think you dropped this." And she goes, "Oh, thank goodness. I would never remember what was even on the list unless I had it." You know, and as she reaches under her little dresses and pulls out a little pouch, she says, "Let me give you a little something nice for helping me out today." And she hands you 1 mil coin.
I'll take it. Now have 1 mil. And then I will attempt to pickpocket again.
All right.
Well, now that I know where the money is, right? Like, you get a knowledge advantage here. Like,
Well, Rox, dropping message in the chat that I have to allow or deny. I don't even know what kind of software the chat is running, but we're going to allow it.
what is it?
He says,
Damn.
screw her, sack the bitch, and take her money. Yeah, I had to approve that, man. I don't even. I know so. He took our grocery list and then giving it back, he's going to attempt to steal again. So what did you get? A 3? So this time, as she turns back around and you nudge into her again, you realize that her money is in her dress is up here in the front. So you don't really have a good position to really try and take it. But she does have other things on her besides money. So you do take 1 healing herb. Picking pockets. Picking pockets.
Thanks for playing.
So, and you were, are there any items that you want to buy? Anything else you want to do while you're in the shop?
I attempt to steal something from the shop.
Oh, well, that's different. But you definitely can. Like, I get reaction rolls on that because the shopkeepers... Well, you know, again, she, you wouldn't know, but, you know, all the shopkeepers in these kind of games are usually ex-adventurers. And she is a tall, maybe 6'6", woman with blonde hair, wide shoulders, muscular arms. Seems that she, you know, was maybe perhaps a barbarian, perhaps herself in a previous life or in a previous adventure.
Can I try to plant something on the old lady?
You want to give her an item?
I want to plant something off the shelf into her stuff.
Interesting. You can roll a d6 to try that.
It's like a reverse.
Interesting. Well, on a 3, that's not going to be a passive attempt. You were trying to find a spot to take an item, but she's like turning, looking, and turning. You're just kind of behind her, like trying to find a spot, but you're unable to.
Can I just steal something from this shop? I'm gonna leave her alone. Whatever. Like, I get it.
Really hassling this old lady. Hassling old ladies in item shops, stealing their items.
Powerful. I like it.
I mean, you're a rogue. Rogues do what rogues do. Rogues do.
So I just roll d6 to try to steal something from the store.
Yes, but this again, well, it's the shopkeep, so I wouldn't be rolling d6s. Yeah, go ahead if you want to. You definitely can.
Alright, give me something. Another 3.
Well,
It's 3 3s, isn't it?
Oh,
What is that?
I rolled an 8, bro.
Oh no.
So as you were kind of walking where this old lady was at, and there's a dwarven fellow here who's looking, who's maybe putting different kinds of items in a pouch that he's gonna buy. You know, you just as you walk up and take a healing potion, as you pick it up like this and look around both ways like this, as you put it into your pocket. Yeah, the big lady behind that counter goes, "Hey, how are you gonna pay for that?"
Yeah. I'm just trying to collect. Do you have a basket I can carry stuff in? Like, I just don't have anything to put this fragile potion glass in, potion teller.
So we'll just bring it up here. You can buy it right now.
No, I need to get other things. I had a list, but I don't know where it went.
Had a list, and now we can't find it. Well, as you awkwardly, like holding the potion, like start to mumble out some kind of excuse. There are baskets. Do you really want to grab one, or do you just want to put it back?
I'll carry on the charade. I'll grab a basket and throw it in, and rummage through some of the items.
Okay, nice. Well, that's you here in the part of And part of the item shop, pretending to shop with a basket full of items.
Well, I don't know how many items I've collected. I guess.
I mean, you've got healing salve, and you grabbed what looks like a block of like hardtack, like what you would either eat on the road, or you could feed to animals like horses or cows. You grab some of that, and then you even grab what looks like a sweet treat, like a little lollipop or something that's on a rack, and you grab it. And you just like grab that stuff and put it in there.
Okay. Do they have anything on display at the front of the store?
On the counter itself, yeah, where they're standing.
Like the entrance.
Oh, back this way. Sure. As you make your way back towards the front, you see that they have racks that are set up with the basic weapons on them: basic short swords, basic wooden swords. Other things like bows. You see wooden staffs.
Does anything pique my interest?
They have knives. They have daggers.
Is there a nice looking bow there? Can I look at it?
All the bows are very regular looking.
Can I pick up the knives and see how weighted they are? And
because it is the
I'm not gonna put them in the basket.
Okay.
You're
examining the bow. Yeah, the daggers are very basic and simplistic in design. Just a basic blade with a basic handle, and the smallest bit of a
Do
guard.
you guys need to buy anything else here?
I was gonna try and buy like maybe 2 hand daggers, like something just 6-7 inches long.
So that would be like a long dagger, which would be a longer bit of blade. It's a little more expensive. Long daggers are like 25 a piece.
25 a piece. Okay, yeah, I'll take 2.
Very nice. Will cost 50 mil.
Sweet.
Look at that honest spending of money. Honest, just money changing hands, items being exchanged.
Are you gonna get anything here?
Commerce at its finest. No haggling. No haggling needed.
I think I'm done with my business.
All right. I'm going to run out the door.
Roll a d6.
With my items, please.
That is a
Nice.
6.
Let's go. Just when you need it.
So with a 6, holding the basket of items, you literally just dash, slam the door open, and as you run outside into the town, are you going to run towards the castle or towards the bottom part of the town?
Towards the exit.
So running south, we'll say the castle's facing south, the
Can I
town
slow
facing
down
north.
and try to blend in? Yeah.
I mean, you can, but as you've already bolted out the door, you two are at the counter, looking over your shoulder. She lets out a curse under her breath. Again, she's, what did I say, like between 6'6" and like big, barbarian-esque woman, right? Vaults over the counter with one hand.
Chipper, one guy, do it. Chipper.
Do you guys each want to? Do you guys each want to
We're
roll?
like-
Do you guys each want to roll a
He's not gonna think the blind guy did it.
to disrupt her? You want to accidentally do
Yeah,
it?
that's what I'm.
I kind of want to just like back up into her.
All right, roll a d6.
Nope.
Well, because we
Whoa,
both
matched.
hit ones, as she went to vault over the counter, you were literally just turning around backwards like this with your items in your hand, smacking into her. You do take 1d4 damage because she was vaulting pretty hard.
Fair.
You take 2 damage.
It's okay. I'm chunky.
She slams into you, goes sprung all over the floor, and you fall on the ground, spilling items that you were holding everywhere. Getting up, she helps you. She helps you up to your feet, and she goes, "What? Didn't you see me there? I was jumping to catch that guy. Are you?" And you turn and you look at her, and she can see where your eyes are like looking off the distance. She goes, "Oh, sorry."
Excellent.
It's cool. It happens all the time.
But then, as she looks past over your shoulders at the door, she goes, that Khajiit is long gone. But if I ever see that Khajiit come in here again, I'll break every bone in his neck with one hand."
Let me look at her and say, how about we go try to bring him in for a little reward?
Wow, I thought we were on that
Says, "Oh, if you bring that Khajiit in here, I'll pay you handsomely."
Just work with us. Come on now.
Don't turn me.
She was rolling 1d10s, Ahimon.
Well, that was on him.
That's gonna hurt.
I ain't going back.
Well, she's gonna take her spot back behind the counter then, grumbling under her breath, muttering that she let some shifty Khajiit break out of her store with some of her goods. Feeling, disappointed in herself, she's cleaning the counter now and stacking items back there and just in a relative bad state of mind. Is there any more shopping you guys want to do?
I just can I take a can I get one of their like one-handed swords, or is that like a viable weapon for me?
Yeah, your strength is high enough, and you're a monk. I mean, monks do fight better with hand-to-hand or gloved weapons or no weapons, but you're strong enough to hold a sword.
Can I just get a pair of brass knuckles?
So they don't have those kind of weapons here.
Gotcha.
Because it is a small town, a castle-esque town, so they don't really carry it.
That makes sense.
But you can get a short sword if you wanted one.
I'm gonna pick up the short sword, and then I'm just gonna start following the cat said.
So you do what?
You're gonna steal it?
Yeah.
You're
my god, let's go!
Holy
I'm
crap.
corrupting.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to come back to this town or not.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, hey.
I will. I'll come back.
Yeah.
I am a little bit right now. But...
I don't know. I'm like a bird man. They're gonna recognize me, and we're running with a Namekian, so never mind.
Well, I'm not
Scratch
involved
that.
in this.
How much is the sword?
Short sword is 35 mil.
35
It's not
mil.
even that much, really.
Yeah, 35.
What items did I get? I got a HP potion with one, wasn't it? In the
Yeah.
basket.
Yes, HP potion. You get a block of dried meat, and you got one lollipop
And you got a free basket.
and the basket. And the basket it came in. Yeah, hell yeah.
We're rolling in back.
They just wanna play these games so they can loot and steal and just. Well, at least your night guys aren't murder hobos. At
I'm
least you're
gonna
not
back
killing
there and
anyone.
sell them the basket.
Where?
Sell them their own
So
basket.
the old lady's right here, right?
Yeah,
On my way out, what kind of items are right here beside
that's
me?
all where all the healing items are at. Healing herbs that are stacked up. Some healing potions left in vials. Healing powder, which is ground up healing herb,
Yeah.
and healing salve and healing balm and things like that.
Could I try and like on my way out, like flex my wing out and like hide me snagging a couple of healing potions?
Oh, because you're not inherently a thief.
Couldn't do it.
You'd have to probably hit the 6, or else you just not do it right.
Okay. Could I try and grab one and then just run?
Again, it would come down to the dice roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and grab one on the way out. Try and hide it with my wing as best as I can. It's not 6. It's not 6. It's
That is a 1. And so, again, because you can't really see,
just
you reached out, grabbing the first thing that your hand hit, right? Grabbing it, you went to run, not realizing that it was kind of in a bit of a rack piece at the bottom. So when you ran away with it, you pulled the whole rack off the shelf, all of it hitting the ground, breaking everywhere, right? The running, well, let's see. You run towards the door. Oh, well, I'm not gonna call that one. Wow. Old lady is not in your way, but there was somebody over here that was shopping, so you actually, not meaning to, you bump into them as you rush towards the door, pushing it open, and sprint out as fast as you can. Running outside, you bump into one person, and then turn, and you just start walking down there, walking down the street as quickly as you can. As soon as you're still up here at the counter, as he is you, right?
yeah.
Back here, grabs something, goes to pull it off, breaks it, the rack hits the ground, splashes everywhere, you run, bump into this person, and barely manage to make it out the door in time. So,
Like a true blind man.
instead of chasing after you, looking as you turn now, as splash, boom, breaks, you bump into someone and run out, she looks at the doorway, looks back over at you, and she says, "What's going on in my store today?"
I have no idea, but here's 25 mil because you're having a rough day today, and I'm sorry.
She smiles and says, "Oh, well, many thanks, brave adventurer. Next time you come back into my shop, I'll be sure to give you a discount."
Now you see, we don't have to ever come back.
And as you're walking down the street, you feel like as your heart slows down and everything seems to be safe, you reach down to see what you had grabbed. It is a vial, but the bottom of it's broken off.
I'm gonna keep the broken
It's like a glass.
Broken
That's
vial?
a weapon.
Yeah.
Broken vial. Okay.
I'm gonna have that in game.
No, that leaves just you in the item shop with this tall, barbarian-esque woman littering at you with a big smile across her face.
Try to charm her. Take her as your wife.
I'll play it cool. I just want to start walking out the door, and then I'll turn around and look at her and just be like, if you want to grab a drink sometime. I just walk out.
Alright, so roll the d6 for that, and she will roll in response. That is a 6. How charming. How debonair. Well, she hits a 1, which is super effective in the least way. So as you turn and go, next time I'm in town, maybe we'll grab a drink sometime. And she just her face gets beet red, right? And she just is at a complete loss for words as you just turn, as cool as the other side of the pillow, walking right out the door.
Superfly.
Superfly. Oh, so that brings you guys outside. You're already running, and you're already pretty much at the northern, where the gate is, to where the city or the town ends.
Can I attempt to pickpocket somebody in the street as I'm going?
Yeah, while you're waiting for them to catch up. Always, bro. You are a pickpocketing fiend.
I'm trying to upgrade it.
I feel that.
Trying to hit like 3/8 in a row.
Trying to hit 3 8s in a row. Well, as you're waiting at the and it's the city wall behind you, which is different than the castle wall, in that it's not as tall. It is made of a lot of that similar black and brown bits of brick and rock that have sort of been adobe'd together, but it's only about 10 feet high, right? Just the outer perimeter of Hamlin, the town itself. No doors, no gates there, just very open for people to kind of come in with their wares or their horses or carriages. So for free and open, with only maybe 1 or 2 guards standing there with their weapons at the entrance itself. So, looking through what townspeople you see in front of you, you did see someone just come out of a house with a big armload of what looks like bread, vegetable stalks coming out of it, walking in that direction. Will you pickpocket?
Sure.
Subtract the 1 MP, roll the 1d8s.
Alright. It's gonna be the good one. What's that?
That is a 4.
It's alright.
So as you kind of stalk up behind them to try to take something, you notice that they're just arms barely around whatever big is in their bag. So as you come up next to them and accidentally bump them, they just drop their paper bag all over the place. Large things of bread come out. Large stalks of carrots, celery, other kinds of vegetables all come spewing out. As you help, and we'll say it's a tall elfin woman, you help her put her stuff back in her bag. You did actually behind your back keep one of those large baguettes for yourself.
Alright. I'm gonna leave town now.
Satisfied with all the bread you've earned,
Hey.
you leave. And it isn't just a couple minutes behind you that Irvin was already walking that way. He leaves town as well, and then you were just quickly behind him. So now we can stop the medieval town music, and we can go to the outside music. You're running around outside. Interesting foray into Hamlin, a town. You guys just stole so much stuff.
Mostly me.
Yeah, I decided
I stole like
to
80%
not.
of the stuff.
I decided to not steal the thing that I probably could have gotten away with stealing, and then chose to try something that I literally couldn't see to do, and then stumble across everybody in the store and just leave.
Even all the stuff I did buy, I haggled everything.
Haggled every single thing. Haggled all of it.
Still spent all my money and got one back. At least from that little old lady. I was really considering using dual stab on her.
I'm
right
looking
there,
for
so-
maybe.
But then I was like, I won't get anything if I do that.
It's fair.
Some
Yeah, 'cause-
exploration music
Then
befitting
you can't
of
quite
a
lure it.
campaign in Argela. I know I played one of these before. I never committed it to my put it in my library though. What I want is this. Yeah, this is it. You guys, we can't hear it very well, but yeah, no one's ever tried to pickpocket Stevie Mill before. I can only hope and think that would end badly for them if they tried it. Then again, who knows? Maybe we could pickpocket a Wraith Point or two. Can you guys in the chat? Can you guys hear that background music? Okay. Oh, Rolo, no, still drawing them. Drawing them under the way. You can hear the background music. Okay. Fantastic. I wish I could set this thing on repeat because it's only a couple minutes long.
You can. If you right click on the video, you can hit loop.
Ha! Whoa!
Sure, I know how to use YouTube. Fantastic. I've been weeks ago. I'm looking at this clip. Like, how do I put this on loop? How do I put this on loop?
Hey.
Right. So, leaving the north gate. You know, it's nothing but wide open plains in front of you. Although you do see the occasional as you're walking along. It's a very, very faintly beaten path. You see the occasional rock jutting out of the ground, or the fallen over bit of a tree, or a thick bit of thistle grass off in the distance. We'll even say, as you guys walk for several minutes,
My God.
I want to show you guys what I rolled there.
2 6s,
I rolled a
dude.
6, and I rolled a 6.
Wow.
We roll 6s around here. We'll roll them again.
Yeah, dude.
I never get to roll 6s like that. That's amazing. I rolled a second 6 on the red dice. So,
Oh.
does that mean that the DM will roll 3 6s? A 5. So close. But
We're
on
the
those,
first one that
you
came.
guys didn't have to walk maybe but 10, 20, 30 minutes. For off the side of the road, stretching down a little bit of the glade, is a thick field of what look like crimson berries. And they're wild berries that anyone can just gather up and eat.
I'll gather some berries.
Do you
Yeah,
want
I'm
to
gonna gather some.
each roll a 1d6 to gather crimson berries? 5, 4, deuce. So we'll say, and you already have baskets and jars, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So on a 2, we'll say you get 1 container of your choice on your inventory full. And the 2 of you can get 2. And those are crimson berries. And they're just like edible.
Baskets.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have 2 baskets full.
Yeah, I'll give him 2 baskets.
Well, I only needed 1. I already had.
Okay, cool. Alright. I still got 5. Do you want a basket?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I give Drum a basket.
Thank you.
Grabbing, yeah. No, I got 4 now. And I'm just gonna get a jar of them.
Okay.
Jar of crimson berries.
Yeah, and they're, bigger than the plumpest raspberry you've ever seen, right? The bigger ones are. And yeah, they're fruit, so they're nutritious, and you can eat them in a pinch, and they're crimson berries for sure. And
Can I try one?
sure, I mean it's sweet, succulent. It's a juicy berry.
Nice.
Fantastic. You never know what you find. So walking along further down, and again, you guys end up walking for the 30 minutes turns to an hour. The hour turns to 2 hours. So you guys are talking amongst yourselves as you're marching, and it's hard to even call it a path. It's the barely faded bit in the grass, a worn spot here, a dirt line there, letting you know that you're going in the right direction. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have known there's a road there at all. Hour turns to 2, and so everyone roll a d6. A 5 hits the mark.
Hey.
What's that?
Oh,
Ah,
those 5-0s.
So
It does sink in.
walking along, you two started talking about some of the things you'd seen in in the town in Hamlin town. As far as watching him scurry around the courtyard late at night, or talking with the prefect and the prince. The prince seemed royal and regal, but not very smart, not very very pretty close-minded as far as the old ways. He just seems very practical, but he seemed like, because he gave you guys a mission, that his mind must be in the right place. He didn't send you guys off to steal or to burn or pillage. He sent you to rescue his men, who were under the thrall of an ogre taskmaster and his raiders. So there will arrive a point later on in the day, or in the night, or even tomorrow, where you will arrive on the outskirts of this outpost, so you could at any point begin to put a plan together.
Well, I've got a coil of rope. I've got some torches, some fishing poles. I've got 2 long daggers, a short sword, and a broken vial.
I guess we could go there and just try to kill as many as we can quietly, and then at some point they'll probably get alerted, and we'll just try to kill the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that, you're talking about the time of day being relevant?
I guess so. We should probably go at night.
Yeah, like as it's starting to turn into night.
Okay.
Maybe even late.
Yeah, I mean, we could let them get to sleep first.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, of course, there's going to be watch guards, but that'll be a whole lot less than the entire.
Maybe we can steal the guards' uniforms, and then if we have to attack them, we're attacking them with their own uniform. Well, they'll know we're not orcs, so
Yeah.
they'll know
We'd still take them out.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So you're planning a night raid?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Remember things like that? Distractions, fire, loud noises, all that stuff's on your side, right?
Start a fire.
And also, once you get there, you'll be able to get a bit of a. Hopefully, you'll be able to not be seen and see the terrain and the situation to work out a plan, right?
Sounds good.
So as you're continuing along this barely made path, in the grass, so a bit of a patchy woods are up ahead on your right. We'll say that's off to the west. And you guys are kind of again walking along, not paying much attention to it, until you see off in the woods, maybe about 100 yards out, motion starting to happen at the edge of the woods, right? What looks like we'll say it's like a flock of rabbits. We'll say a big group of rabbits all come pounding out of the woods all at the same time. Now the rabbits in this world are big, like they're big rabbits, right? And so like for 16 or 18 of them to all come bounding out of the woods at the same time and running along the tall grass, as you guys are walking along watching, they come to a point where they're maybe 10, 12, 30 yards out. And then breaking out from the tree line is a creature you've really never seen before. It looks to be an elk, because it's tall with a long neck, loping on 4 legs. It's got these huge, sharp antlers that come off of its head, right? It's bounding after these rabbits, right? Bounding after them. And you're like, why is it chasing all these rabbits? As it bounds and the rabbits all cross the trail in front of you, it stops turning, seeing you three. It flares out its nostrils as it rears up its big, heavy. This elk must be 8 feet tall. The antlers coming off its head, making it 9 feet tall. A big, wide, dark brown body with a dark white underbelly with spots. And it looks big and powerful. As it flares its nose out at you and grinds its teeth, you notice its teeth are sharp.
Can I, quiver an arrow? Or, notch an arrow?
You definitely can. And we will say... So, somewhat of a trail. We're going to say it's the most well-beat trail we've got. It's you and you and you we're all standing in front of, standing in the middle of the trail. The rabbits all ran by this way, and the huge elk that just landed here, boom, and turned, looked at you, flared out its nose, and gnashed rows of sharp, grinding teeth. I don't have any monster that's going to be the right size for this. Well, we'll just use this.
Nice.
So, you know, and it then paws the ground a little bit and shakes its antlers at you as if it's going to charge. Who has the highest agility?
Me and him are tied at 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can decide who will take the first turn.
Can I just shoot it with the arrow?
Yeah, absolutely. You shoot it, and I'll try and dodge it. And when it comes by, I'll try and just hold to. When it gets close, I want to take a swing at its leg with my smooth mace. Try and snap his leg.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, hey.
Let's go.
So it instantly, putting its head down just a bit. Yeah, you roll the 6. Begins pounding towards you, right? Without moving, you fire the arrow as you start strafing off to one side. I'll say both of you start strafing off to either sides as you're standing directly in the center, right? You fire the arrow. Boom! It hits it right in the chest.
Good.
If it injured it, it's hard to tell because it did not slow down.
It's gonna take a second.
It slams into you full on because you weren't moving. You come into the shot. Boom! You hit it. It boom, boom, and slams into you full on, knocking you back. You take 5 damage. Woo-wee.
Gee, man, crickets.
So we're just gonna go, ba-boom. It's gonna follow through, bam, and as it kind of spins around a little bit, and you turn and look, and you can feel its motion flying by you. It's big. So as you turn, following its motion, it then rears around, and it acting like it's gonna tilt its head down and gore him. Your action.
I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna run up with my short sword like this, and just try and stab him in the side.
Okay, gonna run up and impale it.
Yep. With the short sword.
4, nice. We'll give it a minus, so that's a 2 minus 1. Well, that's fantastically bad. Running up to the side of it, sword out in front of you, you make contact, sinking in, a good several inches. As soon as you land the hit, it instantly bucks. Roll to avoid flailing hooves. Ooh, I rolled a 6. Roll to avoid flailing hooves. Well, that's a deuce. So on a 6, as it rears around, hooves flailing about in all directions, you try to pull your sword out and try to get a block up, but it hits you on your head and shoulders with 2 heavy hooves. You take 1 damage.
Oh.
Your action.
Well, since I'm at a distance, I guess I'll notch an arrow in my bow and
Okay.
go for. Is it facing me? And he's on the side? Or is it the other?
Yeah, it's facing you. Its head was down a little bit, but as soon as he stabbed it, it reared up, flailing around this way. So we'll say it's flailing like this.
Okay. I'll go for a shot on like its neck or side up there.
Okay. 4.
Sorry, hold on.
You're good. A 3. Yeah, as it's hitting, it hit him. Boom, boom, causing Irving to kind of fall back, holding his sword. The arrow goes out, hits it right in the side. It lets out a roar. Then landing like this, as you're trying to get back up to your feet, it's going to spin, running over you to do a charge attack on you. So you both have to roll to avoid my charge attack. It's a deuce.
Can I attempt to stab it underneath it with my dual stabs? If I agree to take
It'd be an attack move, or you want to just take all the damage and just do a counterattack?
Yes.
Golly.
Okay. So as it's
Should I still rolled him the other way?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
you don't get out of the way. And I guess neither one of you do. As it tramples literally over you, you draw your daggers out. Go ahead. A pair of twos. A pair of twos. As you go to draw your knives out, instantly, hoof, hoof, boom, boom, boom. Trampling you before you can get the knives up high enough. Slamming you back down into the ground. You went to jump out of the way. It clipped your side as you go spiraling around. As it tramples over you and knocks you to the side. You're going to take 1d6. You're going to take 1d4. So, you take a total of 3 damage. And you take a total of 4 damage.
Oh.
Woo! It does have an arrow sticking out of its neck, a stab wound at its side, and an arrow sticking out of its side. As it turns around again, you're feebly trying to get back up after being trampled. It seems to have an eye for you, as now as it reels back around, it appears about to charge you again. Your action.
Can I use my feline form and like pounce out of the way?
Sure. Feline form and the pounce.
No.
Well, that was for the feline form, right?
So I still get it for a short duration.
So you do. So as it's bounding towards you, hooves clapping against the dirt, you lunge forward into your feline form, realizing you may only have 1 turn to try to dodge. Its charge is going to be on a 4. So go ahead and roll to evade. A 3 will give you a +1 because your feline form. So you're able to dart barely out of the way as its hooves, as it ba-boom, ba-boom, slams past you. Your action.
I want to use an ability.
Nice.
For a skill.
Which ability will it be?
I'm going to try and where it stopped, I just want to run up and try to fluttering attack it.
Okay.
Subtract an AP. And I roll a D6.
Fluttering attack is a 4. So as it's following through on its charge, looking ahead to where it's running to, your wings flutter out behind you as your sword behind you like this, jump out into the air. The fluttering of the wings gives you forward motion as you fluttering strike towards a spot where it's going to converging on it, right? It lands, you slice it right down its side, whoosh, blood sprays against the ground as you scored a heavy strike on it. Now bleeding seriously from that wound on its side, it's going to whip its antlers around to try to pick you up and gore you simultaneously. Roll to evade, my deuce. That is a 1. Does not evade. You try to spin out of the way, but one of the hooks of the antlers gets you up on your side, lifting you up a couple inches in the air and pitching you back. You take 1d4 damage. You take 4 damage.
Oh.
You're landing heavy, but that attack was the biggest attack yet, and now it's bleeding heavily from the wound in its side. Your action.
How's it standing now after hitting him?
It's turning. It's almost like its back is to you. As it's turning, it hit him, so now it's broadsided to you again.
Well, I want to use the bow and notch another one and go. Because that arrow, that's the same spot.
Yeah, it's on the same side.
I want to hit the arrow or anything, but I would like to kind of just get it, similar area, get close enough.
Okay, nice. Roll that d6. Take a shot.
Let me erase it real quick so I don't forget.
6. Let's go. Roll for 6. So yeah, this time as it spun around, pitching Irvin, sending him flailing back with a puncture wound in his side, lining up your shot, thunk. This one hits it higher up in the neck, so hard that it lets out another whoosh. And as it lands, it's turning weakly to see where the attack is coming from. Spinning around with blood leaking out of its side, it's now attempting to run away. It's going to do a half bound in this direction. You only took 1 shot with the arrow, so go ahead and take another action.
Well, I want those arrows back. I'd like to use some magic. I would like to throw a fire spin disc at its back legs so it can't run away.
Bruh, what a move.
You set the deer on fire and it's going to run through the woods with the woods on fire.
And that's how we burned the forest that day. So, a 3, as it's weakly trying to get away, you send out subtract the AP.
Yeah, I did.
You letting out the fire spin like this. It barely manages to clip one of its back legs as it's running, but it is enough to slice through to where it falls forward weakly, landing hard on its side. Thwomp. It's now struggling, its legs kicking around it to try to get up, but but now the blood is rushing out of its body, and so now it's struggling to try to move, but can't move. Your action.
Oh, it's dying. I want to walk up to it and like slit its throat while I stare into its eyes, and the life runs out of its body.
Well, that's intimate. All right, go ahead, roll the d6. That is a 5. As soon as you walk up to it, it's so big, even as you put your foot on it to hold it down on its chest, you can feel the power of it underneath your foot as it's struggling to get up. You realize time is of the essence. You were going to slice its throat, but you don't want it to get away. So drawing out your dagger, you stab it in the neck as hard as you can. It lets out a shriek again and thrashes even harder. On a 5. Again, almost having to throw your body on top of it, you take your other dagger and you stab it into its neck at the same time.
Nice.
To where you're watching him like straddling on top of this massive battle elk, stabbing it over and over in the neck with his knife until eventually it stops moving. As he gets up from the carcass, he's got blood all over his hands, all down his chest, all up on his neck, splattered all over his arms, and he's grinning maniacally.
Can I just start drinking the blood that's like pouring out of the neck?
If you want
It's
to.
like how a cat would do it. It's kind of like licking it.
Then roll a 1d6. That's called lapping.
Yeah. I'm gonna lap at the blood of my enemies.
That is a
Oh
6.
my God.
That is a 6.
And after this roll, I would like to see.
That is 2 6s.
Oh.
A 5. Oh man, so close again. So close to 3
What
6s.
would that skill? What it would like? I guess it would heal me maybe or something. Or like consume.
Well, we won't get to know.
Could I walk up and like start buzzarding it,
Did I get
Like-
anything?
like just eating it?
Picking it.
Oh.
my God.
I mean,
Can I procure my
This is
arrows
my
before
thing,
they start
guys. You guys
feasting
supposed
on
to be
them?
normal.
Yeah, you can get your arrows
I'm a
back. All your
bird,
arrows.
man.
You
Yeah.
roll 1d6.
I've got a beak the
You
size
get all
of
of
a
our
dagger.
arrows back. Oh, it's not the one.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that is a 4. I mean, you going up to it, I mean, it's not really in your nature, but as you peck at it and peck at it again, you're just like, oh, well, I thought it would be cool at first, but now I feel kind of silly.
It's a little tougher than I
So you're a
thought.
grown man just like trying to peck at it. It's like fur, trying to pull its skin off. Didn't really work. But I will give everyone 10 experience for beating... Oh, actually, 15 experience for that guy. He was a battle elk. 15 experience apiece for killing the battle elk. Ooh. Oh, where did this music come from? I was just playing it. Where did it go? Oh. And as quickly as it started, the battle ended. Battle elk, its huge body lying dead before you. You could harvest its body parts, I suppose.
Could I take its antlers? Would anybody be opposed to me taking its antlers?
And this is in no way any kind of euphemisms, but this elk has a killer rack.
Nice. I will take that rack.
All right, those are battle elk antlers.
Can I take some of the meat?
Yeah, I mean, it's enough where everyone could have some, but everyone can have up to 2 servings of elk venison.
You guys want that?
Yeah, sure. I'll get some.
So you're,
Two
you're there
servings?
with your knife, sort of cutting strips of thick meat off of the bone. It's raw battle elk venison.
Oh, and to keep in my character trait, can I take its sharp teeth?
Yes, though you wouldn't suspect this kind of a creature to be a carnivore, battle elks are actually omnivores. They can eat plants, but they generally tend to hunt animals in the woods. And on a side note, during rutting season, battle elks have been known to kill and eat other male battle elks.
Oh wow.
Cannibals too.
They don't kill the females, though.
Man. So I need a roll for how many teeth I get?
No, let's just say if you're the only one, let's just say, well, yeah, because it is a bit of a, it's going to take you a little bit of effort to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we'll just say I'll give you 1d10 plus 2 battle elk teeth.
Awesome.
5 plus 2. 7 battle elk teeth.
Can I take all 4 of its legs?
Yeah, they're elk legs.
Sick.
Sure. You'd be ripping them off of the body, like tearing them. They're long, lean, and muscular. Battle elks are known for being able to run miles and miles at a time, bounding over tall bushes and shrubs while they're hunting game in the woods.
Nice.
Very interesting. And a battle, which I know you guys probably weren't expecting. So, again, leaving what husked carcass of the elk remains, you guys take off again, heading north along the path, leaving it to sit there for the flies to get it.
Sick.
So, again, it's pretty uneventful as you walk the majority of this day into the afternoon. You don't see anything but the occasional woods off in the background. Again, it's all very flat, very sweeping, the land all out in front of you. And as the hours slowly start to go by, and you guys start talking, about places that you've been and things that you've done and maybe where you're from. You did mention to them that, you were part of a pretty well-known Khajiit family that worked and ran a clergy in a big city. I thought that was pretty interesting. So now it's, getting towards the later parts of the afternoon, and you've been walking really now for most of the day. So as the sun is drifting off again, off into the horizon, who has the lowest strength?
Probably me. Yeah, I have 2.
Then the Khajiit, really? So not as strong as the Khajiit? Wow.
I have 3.
Okay. Your legs are getting weary from walking all day in a straight line. The battle was a nice bit of a break, got some adrenaline pumping, but your legs will give out. And again, as the sun is getting down to where it's starting to creep and you see the briefest shades of dusk on the horizon behind you, you thought maybe it'd be a good idea to try to set up camp for the night. Again, you've been walking all day. I did speed time for a lot of that. So you guys spent hours and hours and hours walking, talking with each other, eating berries, flourishing your weapons and practicing your moves or whatever. So we'll say that after the end of a long day of walking, you pick a spot maybe 40 or 50 yards off the main path. In a bit of a spot where the grassy glade dips just a little bit to where you can make a fire pit down there and maybe pitch a small tent. So we'll say that, and as the 3 of you get busy working...
Can we work together to maybe set up the campsite?
You can definitely work together. Everyone roll a 1d4.
Let's go. Let's get us.
So that's 2 ones?
Nah.
He wants to match it. Oh, a deuce.
Oh man, I don't get it.
So if you guys want to pick up the team skill, work together.
Can I try it and set up just like a basic stick fall trap? Like where it's, I want to use one of my baskets and set it up like this, and then set up a stick to where it'll fall, and then set up another stick under the stick, so that when something steps on it, the stick will fall out.
Roll 1d6.
Nice.
Well, the basket keeps falling.
Tower hates me.
Can I try to make
all
the setup?
night.
Of course, try to make a basket a basket trap. It stays up, but it's as soon as you go to walk away, at that one moment where you think it's fine, it falls.
Can I try one more time?
Can I
Or, hey,
Let the Khajiit have a go.
for sure.
You would think with your rogue-like abilities, you'd have a penchant for making traps.
Yeah,
You seem to can't grasp your mind around it. Yeah, we see it, okay? I'll let everyone try one more time to make a basket trap. That is a successful basket trap on a 6. Roll again.
You got it.
Will he pick up the skill of 5? So yeah, you're able to take the basket with one stick propped up like this. The stick has a Y on the top, right?
Yeah.
One like this with the basket, and the other one right there, so that if something were to stumble on it, it should make the basket fall.
Nice.
A larger game, you think we may be able to get out, but you may can catch something small, like a small bird.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was wanting. All right, put some of the crimson berries in there. So
Putting a
little
handful of crimson berries under the basket, and that's, I would say, several long strides away from where you're setting up your camp for the night. Well, it only takes a few minutes working together to, as you're getting your canvas tent, up, and so using the sticks to kind of, it's only going to be about 3 or 4 foot high, but enough for everyone to crawl up underneath it and be able to rest warm without rain or wind or any of that stuff happening upon you while you're sleeping.
Okay.
So as you work to get everything set up, right next to where he's setting up the tent, you've got your kindling sort of centered around and the tinder, and you're already striking it with your flint. Roll a 1d6. I'll give you a +1 for the work together. Not that he needed it. Not that he needed it, folks. You're rolling 6s around here. Roll it again.
Nice.
I'm pretty good today.
3. So I'll let you get a roll for your roll 2 because he rolled a 6 on his fire-making attempt. Nice. So right as you were working quickly, planting sticks, draping the canvas, getting it all stretched out to where it's enough for at least 3 people to wriggle underneath and be warm and protected for the night. And even because the canvas is that dark brown leathery look to it, if you were out on the road looking out, it may offer some camouflage.
Cool.
So, and as soon as you turn around and you go, done, the flame is already coming up off of the where you have the fire set up. And as you're taking sticks and setting them on each side of the fire, do you want to drape one of your strips of elk venison across it?
I will. And I'll take out my baguette that I still have.
Oh.
Hey.
Make a little sandwich.
Look at this guy. So he's got a long piece of baguette bread that he must have stolen from someone.
Might even put a little bit of the
But
berries on there.
But he takes one of the thick strips of elk venison, dangling it on top of the 2 sticks over the fire. Within moments, you instantly smell roasted meat, making your stomach, well, you're already hungry. That dried tack meat you eat in your traveler's packs is okay, but it's not the same as actually eating food. So as soon as the smell of that cooking meat hits your beak, you're just like, oh, caca, I'm ready to eat.
Yes, sir.
And it takes, more than several minutes under the fire to really cook all the way through. And if you want to put some of those berries on top, I guess you could to give it a bit of a sweet taste.
Sweet, savory, like,
And so as the fire now is roaring underneath, the tent is ready for you guys to sleep under. And because you made it a big strip, that's as soon as it's done, you could break it up into 3 good-sized pieces of cooked venison.
Okay, so I have 3 pieces of cooked venison.
Yes, and lo and behold, there's
3 of
3 of
them.
you.
I'm gonna eat all 3 pieces.
Oh!
I'm just kidding. I'll give them both a piece, and then I'm gonna put mine on my bread and eat it with my bread like a sandwich.
Oh, look at that. So he does give you each 1 piece of cooked battle elk venison. I mean, it's cooked all the way through, and the crimson berries he added to it did seem to give a bit of a bit on the aftertaste.
I'll go ahead and eat mine.
Yeah, just...
Let's see if...
it's a little tough and gamey because it is elk, but I mean, out on the road like this, a meal like this, is few and far between. And you did break your baguette apart, putting the piece of venison in between, and he's over here just crunching on a venison sandwich.
Nice.
Not bad for out in the middle of the road.
I'm just tearing it to pieces with my beak.
So as everyone eats and gets their fill, drinks from their water skins, you could either, if you have abilities you want to train or work on, or you can, settle up and wriggle under the makeshift tent to sleep for the night.
I'm ready to go sleep.
Just real quick, I want to try and retrace my steps as best as I can to where I set that stick fall trap and just check it before I go to bed. Real quick.
Well, tracing your steps is difficult,
Yeah.
but
Tracing
in relation to the campfire, you remembered in which direction, you know that the path itself, the road, is north to south, and that you guys had left west, and that as soon as you set up the campsite, turning left, you guys went south 10 paces. So using that sort of, and that's something that you've always done because you can't see, is keeping your sense of direction relative to yourself, so you know which way you're going. So standing up, you turn back south, and after walking 10 steps, you're kind of doing this number here, and then you find the basket. Yeah, it's still propped up nice. Everything seems to be ready.
Fantastic.
Well, the trap is set, so to speak. So as everyone eats all their fill and wriggles underneath the makeshift tent, and again, the canvas is a couple feet above you, right? And so you have room above you, clearance, but it's dark under there. The fire, we'll say you're going to let it ember and go out, right, as you're sleeping. So yeah, after walking all day, weary from the road and from travel, you know, and you were contemplating, you know, asking him about something, but as soon as you went to kind of roll over a little bit and say something to Drum, already asleep.
I want to use meditate before I fall asleep.
Go ahead. That is a 4. Nice.
Yeah. 2.
So you meditate, you know, and you're able to feel your oneness and yourself gather for a moment as all your thoughts sort of form down to a single point. It's almost as if time stops moving for a moment as you're lost in that meditative sense of reflection. You start to get a sense of the things around you. You can tell that Khajiit fellow that you'd met, not a nice guy. And you know, Drum, though it seems like he's you know, seems to be a good friend and a good ally, he seems to be in the middle. He seems that he could have good qualities, but he also seems to could have really bad qualities about him. Seems he's just in the middle, like he could go one way or the other right now.
Okay. Cool.
And you know, you also, you know, you can hear the wind blowing over the grass late at night. You hear the chirping of songbirds in the woods. You hear something, the croak of a bullfrog from off in the distance, as the sounds of the night embrace you in your meditation.
Awesome. I'll recount all of my stuff because of the, you know, recall that I just had of the 2 party members that were sleeping in the same tent as me. So I'm going to recount all my stuff, and then I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, recounting the day's events, you weren't expecting to run into a wild battle elk as you were walking down the path.
For sure.
And even before that, you know, you certainly thought your goose was cooked as you were running out of the item shop with what you thought was stolen goods. It's just a broken bottle.
Cut my finger on it.
But all things considered, you know, it was a good night, and it was a good day's worth of walking. So as you finally are the last one to drift off to sleep, you feel a great sense of peace and togetherness in your meditation as you slumber. So night passes, and we'll say, because you woke up first, but because Sprinkles is on one side and Irving is on the other, instead of rolling out of the tent, you almost have to like shimmy out of the top, like this. So as you look over here and you're like, okay. Putting your arms over your head, you start worm shimmying out from the middle of the tent. And it's daylight again. Sun's shining brightly. It does seem to be the faintest. Looks like there's clouds off in the horizon, as if there's a storm or some weather coming this way. As soon as you stand up, a nice cold gust of wind hits you, blowing your cloak out in all directions and sort of enervating you, waking you up. You're just, whoo, that was cold. What a gust of wind. Roll a d6. Well, you were going to grab the corner of the tent and dramatically pull it away, right? But instead, you just pull one of the sticks out, causing the cloth to fall over both of them while they're sleeping. And as you then sort of go walking over the blanket, nudging them with your feet, you're like, wake up, or I'm going to eat you guys like burritos. So, you know, waking up, and, you know, you guys don't really have any dreams or anything happening in your sleep that you can remember. You were maybe too weary from all the walking and traveling. But, you know, hearing Drum, you go to get up and realize the cloth is all over you. Like, pulling it away, you roll up and stand up. And, yeah, it's a little cool this morning, cooler than it was yesterday. But it is another bright, sunny morning with a cold, see here, facing north, castle south, with a cool southerly wind seemingly blowing all the time. As off in the southern distance in the sky, you see dark, foreboding clouds. But rolling up your tent, gathering up all your gear, snuffing out the fire, it only takes you several minutes before you're ready to set off again. Oh, Again, and going up the well-beaten trail this time, we'll say, and this works out perfectly because I was going to wrap it up a little early tonight. You see, you guys walk for what must be then a couple of hours more. You had a couple of chunks of bread from the night before that you didn't finish, popping them in your mouth, and you guys have your berries and things like that you can eat as you're walking.
We got a refresh from the sleep, right?
Yes, you guys slept. That's a full heal, full HP, full AP. I know I just got done kicking your asses.
Yeah, I took 7 damage.
Nice.
That's okay.
Nice.
So, and you notice that, the ground again, where it was grass, long, thick grass for most of the trek over the last day and a half, it's now getting shorter, dead in places, stubbly, dirt, not a lot of grass, as you're kind of walking up what seems now to be a long, slowly slanting, glading hill, right? You're just walking up and up and up, to the point where it feels like you've been walking up low steps for like minutes. And you're, already just sort of like, oh, we've been walking for days. But as you get to the top of this sparsely grassed glade, all of a sudden as you reach the top of the ocean shimmering before you, crystalline with light dancing off of its blue reflective surface. You see birds, seagulls off in the distance. But even more importantly, in your foreground, looking down ahead on the beach, is this large, what looks like an outpost settlement. A couple of houses and a longhouse, if you know what that is, built all next to each other. You see what looks like in the middle, looks like a big sand circle, right? With symbols all drawn inside of it. And you see orcs, some half-orcs, some regular orcs, roving around with battle clubs over their backs. But on the far end of the encampment, you see what looks like holding pens. A caged building made out of wood and steel. And inside of it, there must be a dozen or so men, goblins, elves, all of them shirtless, dirty, hair messed up, beaten looking, injured, bruised, wearing nothing but loincloths, all caged up in the pen on the far side of the encampment. So now as you three creep over the top of the hill and you look down over and you take stock of everything, there must be at least 8 to 10 orcs all in one place or another, kind of walking around. You see one of them walk over to where the holding pens are, right? And dragging his club across it. He laughs at their misfortune. And again, there's 2 or 3 other smaller shanty-like houses and a longhouse, an open sandy pit area, orcs walking all around it, racks of weapons and a fire, and then on the far side, a long holding pen filled with must be a dozen people there held against their will. And so as you 3 look over and you take all this in, you decide that you have to take action. All those people in there look accustomed from death. You see ribs poking out, and you see dilapidated faces, and you see sunken in expressions. Hopelessness plays across their features, causing sorrow in your hearts as you look on. And so as you're sitting over this a bit of a hilly glade, looking down over the outpost, and as you guys begin to formulate your plan, that is where we are going to leave it at tonight. Ooh.
All right.
That is right. A veritable cliffhanger.
2 cliffhangers in a row.
Look, I want you guys to assume that there's going to be a cliffhanger at the end of every one of these.
I like that.
That is how we do. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone for jumping into the chat, jumping on the stream, watching us roll some dice and play. If you'd watched us from last week, or if you just happened to jump in and watch us tonight, and maybe had no kind of clue with what's going on, I'm so glad you jumped in and watched. It is a TTRPG that uses the progressive D6 system. So now, starting on the next episode, they will be planning their assault on the orcish outpost, and hopefully they can free those innocent souls that are trapped within. But lying in your way is the orc raider Vedit O'Vanin, and he is not going to go down easy, guys. So we are going to find out what happens there next time. Thank you guys, everyone, again for jumping in and watching.
I never checked my trap.
Oh, you guys woke up and the trap did have. Ooh,
Nothing.
you caught a bullfrog.
One bullfrog in inventory.
Have some frog leg later.
You're right.
I mean, you guys
Is
are.
it alive?
You guys should live off the land pretty good, catching animals and killing them. Yeah, it's alive.
Sick. I'm gonna put it. How big is it? Is it big enough to fit? Is it small enough to fit in a jar?
No.
Okay. That's a big bullfrog. I'm excited.
They grow big. So, guys, tune in next Monday, same time, same place, where we go into episode 3 and see if our intrepid heroes can take down this orcish encampment and defeat Vedido Vanin. And so until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who are in our brewery campaign side quest Sunday at the brewery. I think it'll be, instead of 2 to 7, it might be like, I might start a little later. I might start at like 3, but we'll be there to do side quests on Sunday. So we hope to see everybody there, and we'll see you all next time.
We'll see you
Next time.